Hey, what's up, you guys? WWE Fan 0599 here again, and today we're going to review The Do-Over. So, The Do-Over stars David Spade, Adam Sandler, and Paula Patton, and what this film is about, it's about when David Spade, he's not doing great in life until he meets, his best friend from high school, who's played by Adam Sandler. And guess what? Adam Sandler fakes both of their deaths and to try and make them start their lives over again, but when they use the identities of the people that, they're trying to start over with, those people that they're using the identities with, they were into some shady stuff, and how David Spade and Adam Sandler are on the move. So, what I think of The Do-Over. Now, this is a bad movie, but however, trust me, this is a terrible movie, but I will admit, this is better than most stuff Adam Sandler does. Like, even if that's a compliment, because lately, Adam Sandler doesn't have the greatest of track records, and, I'd rather watch this than stuff like Lil Nicky, 8 Crazy Nights, like That's My Boy, or Jack and Jill, or Pixels. Like, it's not the worst of the bunch, but however, it's still a terrible movie. So let's get into my positives, and I do have positives, shockingly, with this movie. And my positives are David Spade. David Spade, I actually thought, was honestly the best part about this movie. I actually really enjoyed his character, David Spade, he's not the greatest of actors, really. And, seems like a nice dude in real life, but he's not the greatest of actors, really. But, he was enjoyable here. This is honestly the best I've seen him since The Emperor's New Groove, to be completely honest. He was actually really enjoyable in this movie. And I bought his character. Like, I never bought David Spade as, like, the ladies' man or, like, the womanizer. No, I do buy him as this kind of person that's down on his luck. So, really good job. I thought David Spade was really good. I thought Paula Patton, I really enjoyed her character in the film. I really enjoyed her as well. She was really good in the movie. There were some scenes that made me chuckle in the movie, I'm not gonna lie. There were some scenes that actually, I was like, okay, that was actually not bad. That was actually pretty funny. So, I laughed at some parts, like, gave a little bit of chuckles. There was a fight scene towards the end that did make me laugh just a little bit. I was like, okay, this is ridiculous, but it's funny ridiculous. And finally, the first 17 minutes of this film was actually not that bad. The first 17 minutes to this movie was actually okay. It was decent, Wasn't great, but you know what? I wasn't, like, hating the movie. The first 17 minutes of the film was not that bad. However, it's when they, fake their deaths and start having new identities and stuff, that's when the movie starts really getting stupid and really terrible. But, yeah, the first 17 minutes of this film wasn't all that bad. So let's get into my negatives now. And my negatives are, first being, the rest of the acting is just atrocious. Adam Sandler, he's terrible in this movie. His character is so unlikable in this movie. Like, he just isn't likable. His character, I really hated his character in this movie. And I thought Adam Sandler just did such a terrible job in this film. There was this comedian, I forgot what her name was, but she was in the roast of Justin Bieber last year, and she's in this movie as well. I didn't find her funny in that roast, and I didn't find her funny in this movie. Her character was terrible, and I just didn't like her in the movie. Same goes with Nick Swardson. Now, I will say this, Nick Swardson, it's not that his character is awful, it's his character is pointless. All he does in this movie is, knocks on doors and gets run over by cars. That's all his character is there for, basically. And it was just pointless to have him in this movie. The rest of the comedy is terrible. I mean, this movie is produced. The studio that is behind this movie is, of course, Jerome Latimer's favorite studio of all time, Happy Madison Productions. So, obviously, the rest of the comedy is not going to be that great in this movie. The comedy is really bad, actually, in this movie. Like, really bad. And I didn't laugh for a lot of the film, and I was just bored, honestly. The dynamic between Adam Sandler and David Spade wasn't really all that great. I didn't really like it, just wasn't there to me. The action, I know a lot of people have been saying the action's like the best part about this movie. To me, the action wasn't all that special in my opinion. I really didn't think the action was really all that great. Not terrible, not like Taken 3 or anything, but just nothing special in my opinion. The writing's pretty garbage with the film. It's pretty terrible. Same goes with the directing. The directing isn't that great with the movie as well. And the movie's really, really boring. Like, I was really bored throughout this film. And sometimes when I would check the running time, like, I would think I'm like an hour into the film and I'm only like 30-something minutes into the movie. Just, the movie is really slow, to be completely honest. So, yeah. But overall, guys, The Do-Over is not a good movie, but I will admit it's not the worst of Adam Sandler's bunch as of late. This is better than most of his films, but that being said, this still is a terrible movie. So it's time for my official grade on The Do-Over, and my official grade on The Do-Over is a D+. Like I said, it's a terrible movie, but I will admit it's better than most of Adam Sandler's work as of late. So yeah. So, what did you guys think of The Do-Over? Leave it in the comment section below. I'm WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.